The relationship between India and Pakistan is less heated now than what was 2 weeks ago. That's United States President Donald Trump saying that India-Pakistan relationship is slightly better. He's reiterated his offer to help the two South Asian neighbours only if both of them want so. So that's the big news that is coming in early morning. Less heated is what Donald Trump says about India-Pakistan relationship now. Maha Siddiqui with us on the phone line. Morning, Maha. More details?
Good morning, Arunima. So when Donald Trump was asked about the situation, this was his response. He believes that over the last few weeks, the tensions that have gone up between India and Pakistan have considerably come down. He is saying that in the last 2 weeks, it has been much better. Now, remember, during this span of time, since the reading down of Article 370, U.S. has indicated, or rather, in fact, quite clearly, Donald Trump had said that he would not hesitate in mediating between the two sides. But that offer, India has time and again turned down by any country, even the United States. In fact, during the meeting in France, which was on the sidelines of the G7 summit, while Prime Minister Modi was speaking, Donald Trump was listening to him. He once again reiterated that the issues between India and Pakistan can be settled bilaterally under the Shimla Agreement and the Lahore Declaration, and a third-party intervention was not required. Now, at the moment, the U.S. Clearly, with its eyes on the situation in Afghanistan, was very keen that there is no rise in tension in the subcontinent. But at the moment, Arunima, we are seeing even the Afghan peace process, halted. Clearly, after what we have seen in Kabul, by way of terror attacks that have been carried out, and Taliban have been claimed responsibility for it. So for the time being, it appears that Donald Trump's assessment and the White House assessment of the situation is that the tensions in the subcontinent have considerably reduced. Whether the U.S. believes and Donald Trump himself believes that he has been instrumental in bringing that down, that is not clear.
But what about his back and forth with his offer of mediation? Once again, he's saying ready to help if the two countries want so.
Yes, but, with the rider that he's already put there, as you mentioned, if both countries want so, with that, he's making it clear that there is at least one side that is not desirous of a third-party intervention, and that is India. Pakistan has very openly asked for third-party intervention. When Imran Khan met Donald Trump in White House, he himself said that he would want Donald Trump to intervene and that he would have the blessings of billions of people if he is able to, sort out the differences between India and Pakistan. Those were his words when he was speaking there in the joint press conference with Donald Trump. But since then, at that time, in fact, Arunima, Donald Trump made that statement with regard, attributing to the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi that he had requested him to mediate or arbitrate, is what he said, on the issue of Kashmir, which was vehemently denied by India. External Affairs Minister on the floor of the House, both in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, said that there was no question of India seeking a third-party intervention, and that the Prime Minister himself asking for it was absolutely incorrect. After that, we saw one more attempt where Donald Trump spoke about mediation. However, at on the sidelines of the G7 summit, it was amply clear that Donald Trump did, in fact, understand India's position, that third-party intervention is something India is not desirous of, and that this matter will be bilaterally settled.
Right. Thanks for helping us understand that, Maha. But do hold on, because there is more happening as far as India-Pakistan equations are concerned. India and Pakistan all set to face off over Kashmir at the 42nd session of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, who has been tasked with making a case against India on Kashmir today, will be speaking around 3 p.m. on the alleged atrocities against Kashmiris. But not only is India ready with a strong rebuttal, sources also say that high-level official team has managed to ward off other attempts like Pakistan seeking a resolution or an urgent debate on the issue. India is expected to respond around 3 3:30 p.m. by highlighting that the reading down of Article 370 was an internal matter of India and the current communication and movement restrictions are being eased in Jammu and Kashmir depending on the situation that exists on the ground. Now that's significant because this is one area where concern has been expressed by the international community. As far as the communication barriers are concerned, India will tell the international community via the UN HRC today that already landlines have been restored, communication facilities are being restored slowly in the valley. Mobile telephony in some districts again restored as far as Jammu is concerned, Leh, Kargil area is concerned. That's what the claim of the Indian government is going to be, that landlines are working. In some areas, mobile phones are working. And like Foreign Minister has already told the international press, that the aim is to ensure that Pakistani terrorists do not spread a rumor or do not create any law and order situation in the valley if internet is restored. And to prevent that kind of an attempt, the restrictions on internet will continue for some more time now. But that's the situation on the ground that India is supposed to apprise the international community of. Maha, back with us. Maha, all attempts by Pakistan in the last month or so to embarrass India using the UN platform has failed. Even today, similar situation?
Well, it does appear so because sources have told Sierra News 18 that Pakistan's attempt at trying to get an urgent debate going on the issue of Kashmir might fall flat because they will lack simple majority which is required to get even an urgent debate going in the UN Human Rights Council. What they are saying is that they have been actively engaging with all the member nations of the council. There are 47 in total, including India and Pakistan. So India has been engaging with all 45 other countries, and this includes China as well, interestingly, which is part of the Asia-Pacific region. And India has made its points on not just the reading down of Article 370 clear, but also the need for this communication and movement restriction is what we believe. Today, because yesterday the commissioner of the UNHRC, Michelle Bachelet, has raised the issue of Kashmir. Therefore, India will put the points across, and she had expressed concern over the restriction on communication and movement. So India will use the documents that have been prepared with regards to what the situation is on the ground, how many landlines have been made active, which India says, according to that document, all landlines are active now, how slowly communication links are being opened up, how the OPD services are going on as usual. There is no concern with regard to that, or the medicines available in the valley, because all these have been concerns directly with regards to, human rights violations or human rights situation rather. So those points will be made clear when India stands up to speak today at around 3:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. But before that, Pakistan Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi is also going to make his statement. He is expected to raise the issue of Kashmir. However, a resolution or an urgent debate are both looking like not a possibility for Pakistan to push, considering it will lack a simple majority to be able to push for either of those.
Right. Maha, also the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights has also spoken about these communication restrictions there. She's also spoken about her worries as far as the human rights situation is concerned. Can that be something to worry about for the Indian delegation that is there in Geneva at all?
Well, that is the reason, Arunima, that this team is led by one of the senior-most officers of the Ministry of External Affairs, Secretary East, Vijay Thakur Singh herself. In fact, India's High Commissioner to Pakistan, who was sent back last month when Pakistan downgraded diplomatic ties with India, Ajay Bisaria, has also given very vital inputs. And Rajiv Chandar, who is India's ambassador at the permanent mission in Geneva, has been engaging actively with the other 45 countries. This is all in an attempt not just to thwart Pakistan's attempts at getting an urgent debate or a resolution going, but also to be able to help the UNHRC understand that much of the trouble in the valley has been fomented by Pakistan. What India will try to address today is the issue that because of the lack of employment or development schemes of the center, since Article 370 was in place in Jammu and Kashmir, it led to despondency amongst the youth, which led in turn to them being easily incited by, a party like Pakistan. And it has already been mentioned by, remember, India's ambassador to the United States, who put out a video message last week, which was a longish video message, almost 12 minutes long video message, in which he clearly linked Pakistan to the trouble that is fomented in the valley. I think that is the kind of argument that will be placed as to why the communication link at that moment when the Article 370 was being taken up in Parliament and was being read down, why communication link had to be stopped was to not allow terrorists to be able to foment trouble in the valley. That is the point that they will try to put across, and by, in some sense, finger pointing at Pakistan as being the reason for that.
All right. Maha Siddiqui, thank you so much for joining us. 3 o'clock, Pakistan is expected to speak at UNHRC. 3:30, India's rebuttal. We will be focusing on this story throughout the day.